All right, we're rolling. Welcome to one of the very first vlogs, one of many that I'm going to be doing. So, quick life update. You guys know I host a podcast, The Thinking Project. If you haven't checked that out, welcome to my channel. This is where I do videos for The Thinking Project. I also do sales videos, and now I'm doing a vlog of sorts and a little life update to give you context behind the vlog, which is about 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday, I was let go from my sales job due to like corporate restructuring. In fact, if you're familiar with the Salt Lake region, there were quite a few companies who laid off massive amounts of employees. So like ClickUp, Bolt, I worked for Via, but no hard feelings on my end because one of the reasons, and you've probably heard me say on the podcast, if you've listened to this for a long time, if you haven't, I'll say it again. But one of the main things that you have to do as an entrepreneur or as a business owner or as somebody who's trying to like find their way in the world is you have to have a skill that's marketable. And so for me, that skill is selling and podcasting. Those two might not sound like marketable skills right off the bat. Selling is one of those skills that anybody will pay for. A lot of people will pay for it. It doesn't matter if you're in marketing, if you're in software, if you're in a factory. Everybody needs to sell. Like nothing happens in a business until you sell. That's why the layoffs didn't affect me so much, is because number one, I've had this podcast. I could blow it up at any time. Right now, it's just been a hobby, but moving forward, I'm going to take it a lot more seriously. And then on top of that, like I know how to sell. So starting a business is really easy if you know how to convince and persuade and influence people, right? That's why as we go into this crazy world that we're going into, will there be a recession? Will there not be a recession? I don't really know. The reality is you shouldn't really care about that. And here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to get any better. I'm not saying it's going to get any worse. What I'm saying is we all have to be prepared in one way or another. And preparing yourself financially starts with two things. The first thing is having skills that are marketable, having skills that anybody will pay for. So content creation, selling, coding, building, engineering, like these things are things that people will need all the time. And the second thing, and this is kind of the point of the video, this first vlog, is creating a business is the number one vehicle to sustainable financial freedom. So think about all the big investors or like all these big billionaires. First of all, they all own businesses. And some of you might be saying like, well, Warren Buffett has a lot of his money in stocks. Well, he created a business around owning stocks, right? He's investing his money, but really it's his company's money. And the way he set that up is through a business, Berkshire Hathaway. They own their own stock. They're a public company. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, anybody else that really like you can think of has built their wealth through owning a business. And that is what this is, right? And as I've talked to a lot of people on my podcast, one of the most common traits and attributes of all of these really successful business owners is they doubled down on their business during a recession or an economic downturn. However long this lasts, however crazy or not crazy this gets, I promise that we'll all come out on the other end as we learn marketable skills, as we learn those things that are universal in life, which is if you lost your job today, could you find sustainable income? And if the answer is no, let me help you. All of these skills are virtually free to learn online. All the skills that people will pay for the most part, you don't have to go to college again. There is a really short learning curve. So for example, if you want to learn sales, just hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I teach you how to sell all day. And that is a skill that anybody will pay for. And they'll pay you very well. Whether it's commission, base plus commission, or a salary position, somebody will need you as a salesperson. If you want to learn how to code, I don't know how to do that, but go to Udemy, or once you're done watching this video, go on YouTube and find a way to learn more about sales and coding and learn more about maybe, software engineering, or there's so many skills, copywriting, digital marketing, social selling, like business automation. Like a lot of people will pay you to connect all of their systems in a flow, in a process, systems and processes. So operations, supply chain, maybe supply chain, you do need to have a degree. I'm not sure. Don't really know. Not really familiar with that. But the operations, like how businesses work, can be something that's learned. And as you go out and find these people who need those skills, they'll be willing to pay you for them. And there's a skill out there that anybody can learn. But the point of this is you should absolutely think about starting a business, whether it's a side business or maybe whether it's a hobby right now that you like, if it's something you're really passionate about, but you haven't really doubled down on it. If there's one thing that I've learned on YouTube and my podcast is that there is a market for everything. In the car business, we used to have a saying that there's an ass for every seat. And that is the reality of the internet these days. You can make money doing virtually anything. TikTok, marketing agencies, I don't know anything about that, but I know they're getting huge. And TikTok really isn't a mystery. So if you wanted to spend 50 hours learning how to market on TikTok and what makes a good TikTok video, this is the process. I think this is the best part. So here's the process of building an audience and learning a skill and then being able to market your skill. And this is what I've done with my podcast. This is what I've done with selling. This is what I'm doing right now with my podcast production company. The first thing that you want to do is find all the YouTube videos and all the internet material that you can get your hands on. 50 hours will do. 50 hours of reading and watching YouTube videos and taking notes on any subject that you want to learn about, that you want to get paid for. The second thing you'll do is you'll document and build in public. So as you learn, create a Twitter account, create your TikTok, create your Instagram, and document what you're learning. Great content is about documentation, not creation. So that's the second thing. So first, learn. Second, document while you learn and build in public. So write down things you learn as you learn. What that will do now, if you're kind of scared, right? Like, well, what if somebody corrects me, or what if somebody thinks I'm dumb for posting this? That's great. That's actually what you want to do. You want to get instant feedback on the things that you're learning from people who know what they're talking about. And if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, that's not how you do it, actually, this is how you'll do it, that's great. You can find mentors that way. You can learn better that way because there's people actually giving you live feedback before you ask a customer to pay for it. All right. And then the third thing you'll do is you'll start marketing it. You'll start selling it, right? As you build your audience, people will flow to that. People will start to trust you, make videos, things like that. Then you can start to ask for things. So the third thing that you'll do is, as you're marketing it, is start building a list. Create a lead magnet, create like a little white paper or a Canva presentation or a slide or a little ebook or something like that, and offer it for free. And in exchange for the book, they will give you their email address, or maybe they'll subscribe, or however you want to set that up. But start building a list that you can nurture customers with. And that's really easy to do. You can go to MailChimp, you can go to ActiveCampaign, you can Sendinblue, any email service will really do. Collect those emails. If you want to create a really easy website, Carrd is a great way to do that. By the way, another skill that if you learned, you could sell. Learning how to build landing pages with Carrd is a great one to do, or WordPress, or Go High Level, or Unbounce. There's so many of them out there. Businesses need good landing pages, good lead magnets, good funnels. Learn how to funnel hack, and all these things, right? Like, so that's what you can do. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but those are the three things, right? Learn, document and build in public, and then start building a list with a lead magnet. Once you have your list built to 500, 1,000 people, that's easier said than done. I realize that, but I was able to do it. And then you can start marketing to them little things. So maybe it's a coaching session. Maybe you actually write a book. Maybe you create a little course. Maybe you start actually offering your services for TikTok or for selling or for things like that, right? There's so many things to do once you have an audience. So that's a really easy way to build an audience. And as we go into the rest of this year, it's going to be really important for people all over the world to find sustainable ways to make money. If you're laid off from a job, if your hours get cut, if your wages get cut, right? Sometimes businesses don't lay people off. We saw with Elon Musk, right? He forced everybody to work not remotely. And by the way, there's some jobs that can be done remote and other jobs that can't be done remote. That's just the way the world we live in. But the interesting thing about the whole Elon Musk Tesla case was that at first he said there was no more remote working and there was no more satellite offices. You had to be in the office, and he made it really clear, right? Kind of was, people criticized him on both sides, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. But then a few days later, he said that he was going to have to cut 10% of the workforce. So jobs won't lay people off, because laying people off also incurs other expenses, right? They might have to give you severance. They'll definitely have to give you unemployment if you apply for unemployment and things like that. So what what companies will also do is create an environment so crazy and so not the normal, right? That people just quit because they don't have to pay unemployment when they quit. They don't have to pay you severance if you quit, and all of these things. So they're going to try to get you to quit first. And so with all of that, having a second piece of income, having something that you're building on the side, whatever that is, lawn care business, it could be window washing, power washing, it could be so many things. And if you're running out of ideas, if you're trying to get creative, go listen to my podcast. Shameless plug. I interview so many business owners on there who are making money in crazy, crazy ways. It's absolutely inspiring. So with all that being said, the best way to prepare for anything is to have a skill that you can market. And that's why you start a business. And that's why when I got laid off, I chose to make one of the things in the interim that I'm doing is making my side gig my main gig until we figure out and try to navigate this crazy world, because we are blessed to have skills and be creative and use the talents that we all have to make money, because it's that easy on the internet. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like this video for the YouTube algorithm. But stay tuned, because there's more series coming for business owners, for you guys to learn how to navigate this crazy world, how to start your own business. And if you want to start a podcast, this is a great way to do it. More videos to come on that. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe.